What's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the IWC in a local to global save. Currently still local. In the year 1970, nonetheless, so I think this is the third episode. Technically should be fourth, but let's not get into that. Before we get into the actual episode, I do have a locker room incident here that I want to go over with you guys, along with just mention a few things here and there. So real quick, for those of you guys wondering where the WMMA series is at, it's not over. In fact, I was going to record an episode of WMMA today, but I ended up staying over at my girlfriend's house. So I'm actually in a different room. Everyone's asleep. I'm in like a laundry room. So I don't want to be too loud, so that if the recording is a little, I don't want to say quiet because I'm not quiet, but if it's a little off, I guess that would be why, because we're in a different recording area. Maybe the acoustics or whatever don't line up. I don't know how all that works, but I didn't want to be too loud. And when recording MMA 5, you kind of got to be like really hype and all that, because really the only cool thing about MMA 5, I feel, is the play-by-play commentating. That's really the only interesting thing that I can talk to you guys about in that series. So there will be an episode of Fight Club coming out here soon. I gotta record the episode. And also, some of you guys have been asking for, maybe doing a local to global in the UFC and all that. And I did go ahead and tell you guys, you find me a mod, I have no problem doing it. So you guys did go ahead and find me a mod. I have a mod, it's downloaded, it works perfectly fine. We can do a UFC thing in there, but I think what I am going to end up doing is I'm going to keep doing the local to global in the Cornellverse or the C-verse or whatever it's called in the mod that comes with the game. And I might just start doing like a UFC playthrough by itself. That way, you can get the UFC crowd in there, also kind of getting a feeling of how to actually play the game by being a global company instead of a local company. Because I remember when I first bought TEW, I played as a local company, and then playing as like a bigger company like WWE was kind of intimidating at first because there's so much going on, and that might be how it is with the UFC game as well, or the MMA game, I should say. So I am probably going to be starting a UFC playthrough of that soon. It might be around the beginning of next year along with Invasion, but for now, we're going to stick with the local to global in both the MMA game and the TEW game right now. And we'll be moving forward with some more stuff here soon, hopefully. Also, one thing I want to bring up before we jump into the locker room incident here, I want to go ahead and have you guys start, like, maybe giving me some, I guess, owner objectives. One of the things with, TEW is if you play as like a booker instead of the owner of a company, the owner will give you, like, certain objectives, like never fall lower than this, or never go lower than this in the amount of money you own, or you got to push this certain superstar, or you can never hire a psychopath superstar, or like a luchador, or stuff like that. And I think what I think would be cool is if you guys, and I'm stealing this idea, I'm fully aware of this. I'm stealing this idea from another TEW player called Brendan Plays. If you don't watch, you should watch him, but I would be surprised if you don't. I think he's probably the biggest TEW YouTuber on YouTube right now. But anyway, he had an idea where in his current WWF playthrough, he had his subscribers kind of come up with their own kind of like owner goals for him that he has to complete. And, or, he'll have to suffer the consequences. And I don't really know what the consequences of that would be yet. But I'm thinking we can do something similar to that because we are the owner of this company. This is our own created company. And even though we're kind of in the beginning stasis of this, I mean, there could be a certain superstar maybe a lot of you guys like. So I'm thinking what we'll do is you guys, can comment down below some of your, your ideas. Or it's a little hard right now because it is a local company, and we're still hiring people and trying to establish ourselves. But if, like, certain ideas like never hire a luchador, for instance, or something like that. Like, we can't hire a luchador. Or we need a certain character with a certain gimmick, or a certain superstar that we already have on the roster needs to be pushed like a main eventer, or some stupid stuff like that. Like, if you guys have any, ideas or, owner goals, you're more than welcome to list them down below. And I will do my best to complete them in a year's time span, or I would say a year probably would be the best time span. I know 6 months is a thing too, but 6 months really doesn't give me a whole lot of time, I feel. So a year I think would be the best, especially considering we are a local company and it's more really right now 1 or 2 shows a month. So yeah, go ahead, list some of your ideas down below if you have any, and it doesn't just have to be on this episode. I'm going to try to remember to mention it in about every episode. That way, um, we can get more and more ideas, and the ones that I like or I think, okay, that's challenging but possible, stuff like that, I will go ahead and put in to the system and try to complete it myself. And if not, we'll suffer consequences, and maybe we'll vote on that, or maybe the person who lists the goal can go ahead and say their consequence down below. Also, if you guys are wondering what this is, these are just some gimmick ideas. I want to kind of be very gimmick heavy, like not too gimmicky, but I want to have gimmicks. I love gimmicks. Gimmicks are like my favorite thing. I miss them. I know a lot of people make fun of WWF back in the day and their cartoony gimmicks, but and I'm not saying that was fun. I'm definitely a little bit overboard, but nowadays I feel like everyone's just a wrestler. It's so plain and boring and bland. That's why I love Elias. That's why a lot of the wrestlers I like have a certain kind of gimmick to them. And why a lot of the wrestlers I used to like Dean Ambrose, for instance, I'm not liking too more much because he's becoming just a wrestler. Now, granted, with his heel turn, things are changing, but anyway, these are some. I don't want to ramble here. These are some gimmick ideas. I'm trying to stick to the times as well. Like, I don't want to have like, oh, let's have ourselves a rapper in 1970. Like, it. No, I kind of want to stick to the time. So I looked up around what was popular in the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, kind of to take from the past as well. And the things that kind of caught my eye that I thought would be fun would be like a spaceman gimmick, a little bit out there, but maybe he can have dreams of going to space, or maybe he's a spaceman now, he's retired and he's wrestling or something like that. I don't know, but definitely something there. GI Joe slash kind of like an ex-military gimmick, so pretty much just an ex-military guy. An Elvis gimmick, which we might have somebody coming in for that soon, and then of course a cowboy gimmick. A lot of very generic gimmicks. So if you guys also have some gimmicks you would like to see, go ahead and comment them down below. But like I said, try to keep to the time periods we're in. Like, we're in 1970s. I don't want like grunge rockers in the 1970s, when that's not even around until the 1990s pretty much. So try to keep with what it. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I've gotten what I want to say. Let's get with this locker room incident here, which is with Jimmy Snuka. Now, Snuka's not booked on the card. Normally, I wouldn't be able to pretty much do this incident if I booked the card already. But Jimmy Snuka's not on the card, so he won't be affected. So we can go ahead and do whatever we want here, and it won't affect anything. Now, if someone like, say, for instance, Baron von Heisenberg or Heisinger is on the card, if he had an incident, I would have to pretty much take care of the incident first and then book the card, because he has an incident waiting for him. We could be firing him for all we know. So Jimmy Snuka here, our Jimi Hendrix type character, failed to show up for a scheduled meeting with a road agent. As his employer, we now have to choose how to deal with this situation. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're scheduled for a meeting, if I'm paying you and you don't show up, then I'm going to be pretty pissed. So I'm not going to give him a slap on the wrist here, because, this is kind of a big serious thing. Like, this is kind of like, you know what? Maybe I will give him a slap on the wrist. Like, you know what, dude? It's your first offense ever. I'm going to give you a slap on the wrist. I will. It's your first offense. Things come up. Maybe you're running late. Next time, call. Something like that. So we'll give him a slap on the wrist for now. But if something like this happens again, it's going to turn into a stern warning, probably a fine, and then we're probably just going to fire his ass outright. So we'll give him the slap on the wrist. And apparently his personality has gotten worse. I should have gave him a stern warning. Should have gave him that stern warning. Interesting enough, it doesn't look like he is, excuse me, a positive influence anymore. And I think he was a positive influence before. We're still hosting on Tuesday because just in case, as you guys can see, Miss Sherry isn't working. I mentioned this last time, that our road agent really is only available on like Tuesdays. Actually, I think his availability is pretty good, but Miss Sherry is only available on Fridays, and that's like the only day he's not available is Fridays. So in order to use Miss Sherry, I would have to pretty much not use him. And with that being said, we did find out that Bob Clay not only is just a referee, but he is a road agent. So I wasn't sure if I was able to use him. And as you guys can see right here, Bob Clay is able to be both road agent and referee. So we're most likely going to be getting rid of Ernie Mohammed here soon and moving on with Bob Clay as our road agent and referee, and probably running on Fridays. That way we can use Miss Sherry as well. So with that being said, I'm going to take a quick drink of my A&W root beer. Sponsored, not sponsored. Mug's better anyway. And let's go ahead and run this show. Third show ever for IWC Origins. Well, not third show. This is the third show. Never mind. Wrong. I was thinking of the YouTube channel. Alright, so we're being held in front of 100 people. I think that's less than last time, so that's a bit unfortunate. But of course, still a generic arena. This is just pretty much our backyard. We're not paying anywhere, so that's luckily, but we're not really getting any name value anywhere. It's just, hey, show up to the IWC. Hopefully we're going to build up enough popularity to where we can start getting in people. Anyway, 25 solid E rating. A lot of you guys have been asking me to put the mod on there where it shows both numbers and grade. I don't know why I always forget to put that mod on there. In fact, I love this mod. I don't know why I always forget it, but I did. But it's here finally. So 25 solid E. Randy Tyler, who plays our spoiled brat character, kind of like a Captain Charisma gimmick. He opens the show, making his way towards the ring with a mic in a hand, and he goes, "All right, sit down and shut up. Last month, that hippie Jimmy Snuka got lucky when he beat me. Now, I'm not about to let some hippie make a fool out of me. And while I know Snuka isn't here tonight, I'm here to prove that last month was a fluke. So whoever is brave enough to step up to the rocket, then I dare ya." And unfortunately for Randy Taylor, out comes Jerry Monty, making his IWC debut and getting a very good rating on his wrestling machine gimmick. So he's not a man, he's a machine. We move on to our opening match of the night. Gets a 38 D-. Great match, guys. Well, not a great match, but a pretty good match for our level, to be honest. 38 D-. We have a decent matchup here as Jerry Monty goes over Randy Tyler in 9 minutes, 46 seconds by pinfall. This match getting the crowd hotter. Randy Tyler with an in-ring performance of a 29, and Jerry Monty with an impressive 41. Good God, that's impressive. I love this, too, because it doesn't just say, oh, he got an E and he got an E. Now I can actually kind of see like the differences between their in-ring performances. Jerry Monty, he's promising. Oh, you know what I forgot to throw in afterwards, so I guess we'll just have to imagine it happens afterwards. Randy Tyler throwing his hissy fit. I didn't even think about that for some reason because I was rushed because I had to come over to my lady's house. But Randy Tyler, he has his hissy fit, as always. You know it's how it works. Thought I heard someone walking up to the door. Okay, we then we then come to a 27 solid E rating as now Bob Roop is in the ring, of course, with George Shultz as he gets ready to speak, and Roop goes, "Baron von Heisinger, I'm not a man for many words, so I'm going to make this quick. Last month, you made a fool out of me when you had your Russian friend attack me after our match. And while I may not have had backup last month, I made sure to bring some this time. So why don't you and that Russian bear march your way to this ring and let's see if you can do it again." And that's, of course, when Baron von Heisinger comes out alongside Alexis Smirnoff. Again, apologies if I offend any people who are German. Also, I want to make it clear, he's not a Nazi. Don't get a Nazi idea. Please, don't make him out to be a Nazi. Baron von Heisinger is supposed to be kind of like Julius Caesar. He's not a Nazi. He's better than that. Anyway. Now, Mr. Roop, there is no reason to get upset. What happened last month wasn't personal. It was a message. But not a message for you, but for everyone who was listening. You just so happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But you see, Mr. Roop, I've already beaten you, and I have nothing left to prove to you. But if it's a fight you want, then it's a fight you'll get. Because you see, Alexis isn't the only Russian at my disposal. Now allow me to introduce you to Alex the Butcher. Now it says Alex the Butt because I wasn't able to finish Butcher, but it's supposed to say Butcher. So out comes Alex the Butcher. I don't know if it says his real name. No. So I don't remember his real name off the top of my head, but I ended up hiring him not only because he was cheap, but he also spoke French, which is the only language Alexis Smirnoff speaks, so these two don't feel like loners backstage. So we're probably going to team them as well. And even though I don't really think as Alex the Butcher as a Russian, if we're going to team them, they might as well both be Russians, right? So Alex the Butcher comes out, he debuts his Man Beast gimmick, so it's more like a crazy, like, you know, Butcher kind of gimmick, I guess, but Man Beast is, I guess, the closest thing I could think of it. I don't know. Maybe not. I guess I could have created a Butcher thing, but that's fine. Anyway, it got an initial rating of great, so we might not even change that. This got the crowd hotter, and we went ahead and changed the name of this feud because it's probably going to be a six-way feud. So there you have that. We then move into our next match, which is a tag team matchup. Oh, hell yes. 38 D- rating here, and a decent matchup here. Alexis Smirnoff and Alex the Butcher go over Bob Roop and George Shultz in 13 minutes 9 seconds when Alexis Smirnoff goes over George Shultz by pinfall with a heart punch after Baron von Heisinger interfered. So the Baron, of course, ringside, and he was not about to let his two Russian friends lose this match, especially against his rival Bob Roop, and of course everybody's friend is George Shultz. So Alexis Smirnoff unfortunately seemed off his game here tonight, but he is getting better at his gimmick, so that's awesome. What's even more awesome is the fact that Alexis Smirnoff and Alex the Butcher showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Not great, not decent, but excellent chemistry together. Yeah, we've got a new tag team right here, you guys. Smirnoff and Butcher, I don't know if they were a real-life tag team or anything. I just hired it off, you know, it just happened to be. But, yeah, excellent chemistry. We're making them a team. It's happening. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put it in my notepad here just to make sure I don't forget. So Smirnoff and the Butcher team. I know I spelled Butcher wrong. No one. And if I spelled it wrong again, I don't care enough. So Alex the Butcher, in-ring performance of a 36. Alexis Smirnoff with a 26. George Shultz with a 29. So Smirnoff was the weakest of everybody, but then again, off his gimmick, or off his game tonight. And Bob Roop, still impressive. God, Bob Roop's a guy that I'm gonna have to stop making lose so often because he's impressive. 43 in-ring performance. Wow. Gained heat for their feud as well. So hopefully this means that we now are meeting our minimum requirement of like an E+ or something, or I don't remember, for every feud. Afterwards, we move on to a 41 solid D rating as Baron von Heisinger sits back while the two Russians begin to beat down on both Bob Roop and George Shultz after jumping them during the match. I don't know why I said after jumping them during the match, but I guess that's what happens when you type out things. They didn't jump them during the match. They just won and they jumped them after the match is what I probably should have said. Anyway, they keep beating down on the two rivals until Jodi Arnold makes his IWC debut. And Jodi Arnold is apparently a pretty big name out here in the Southwest, so this would kind of be a big deal to a lot of people because he's recognizable, even though he's more recognizable as a heel. But anyway, he comes racing down to the ring, has a steel chair in his hands. You don't see that very often, but he has a steel chair in his hands because it's practically 3 versus 1, and he starts swinging that chair around, pretty much chasing off Smirnoff, chasing off Alex the Butcher, and chasing off Baron von Heisinger. While they all have to retreat, Jodi Arnold goes ahead and takes the mic while they're retreating, and he goes, hey, I didn't come out here to swing this chair around. I came out here to fight. So, Baron, you can either run back with your tail tucked between your legs, or you can get back in this ring and fight me like a man. And Baron doesn't say anything. Baron doesn't like, his manlyhood being challenged. So, of course, even though he doesn't have a mic, I'd imagine maybe he's like, oh, you want to challenge me, do you? Okay, you'll regret this. I am the greatest wrestler of all the times. Stuff like that. Jodi Arnold, debuting his blue-collar wholesome gimmick, got a rating of great. Gained some more heat towards the feud. And we go to our main event of the night, Jodi Arnold versus Baron von Heisinger. 39 D- rating. And a decent matchup here. Jodi Arnold goes over Baron von Heisinger in 13 minutes, 19 seconds. When Baron von Heisinger was disqualified after Alexis Smirnoff and Alex the Butcher ran in and attacked Jodi. So things were looking good for Jodi. It looks like he was about to win this matchup. And then the two Russian friends are not going to allow it to happen. They rush in. They attack Jodi Arnold, jumping in from behind. Referee has no choice but to ring the bell and keeping Baron, look, he doesn't have to eat the loss, but at the same time, making Jodi look like he's about to win this. So Baron von Heisinger was visibly tiring towards the end, so the Baron cannot go 13 minutes, probably 10 minutes for him. I probably did that last time and just forgot. Jodi Arnold with an impressive in-ring performance of a 42. Hell yes. Baron von Heisinger with a 26. So honestly, Jodi, Monty, and Bob Roop, all impressive. Those are 3 guys that might end up being our first world champions. And then afterwards, 31 E+ rating. Hopefully this doesn't sink the rating. We have Baron von Heisinger, Alex the Butcher, and Alexis Smirnoff continuing their beatdown on Jodi Arnold until out comes Bob Roop and George Shultz, and all 3-men brawl with Baron von Heisinger, Butcher, and Smirnoff, and pretty much battle them out of the ring as the 3 men stand tall to send the crowd home happy. So all in all, we get ourselves a what? We get a 39 D- rating. Hell yes, probably our best show yet, increasing our popularity in one region, and would you look at this, you guys? No ding for storylines. So our storylines are meeting the minimum requirement. That's freaking awesome. I'm gonna congratulate Monty, Roop, and Jodi Arnold all tonight because they were all good. So let's go ahead and point out Jerry Monty, and we're all gonna point them out as good examples because for all the young guys looking, hey, who do you think I should pair up with to get better at my, at what I want to do? And I'm gonna be like, oh, you guys want to get better at the ring? You need to talk to Jerry Monty, you need to talk to Jodi Arnold, and you need to talk to Bob Roop because they're the best damn wrestlers we have in this company right now. Jerry Monty seemed pleased, Jodi Arnold seemed pleased, and Bob Roop seemed pleased. And you want to know the best thing about Jodi Arnold, you guys? Jodi Arnold, and I don't know how he did this. I guess maybe it's because he's a rookie and we offered him a contract so early on, so we're kind of like that first company that gives him his first break. I don't know. But Jodi Arnold is loyal to the IWC. That's right. Jodi Arnold is a lifer. He is going to be with the IWC forever. And I mean that. I'm never going to fire Jodi Arnold unless he really fucks up, to the point where he gets 3 strikes, or I have to because, there's a bunch of negative stuff about him out in the media right now because he got caught doing something. So, yeah. Jodi Arnold's going to be a lifer because, as far as I'm concerned, he's loyal to me, I'm loyal to him. So, I don't even know. Do we have that loyalty? Oh, yeah, look at that. No, never mind. I don't know why. Well, we don't have a loyalty, but he's loyal to IWC, so if anybody ever offered him a written contract, he would say no. But, so, that's good to know. We've got Jodi Arnold forever and ever. But before we end this off, we got some decisions here. In fact, we got one decision, and it's going to be bringing in a new superstar, that being Frank Dalton. So Frank Dalton, born in Carrollton, Kentucky, I almost said Connecticut, on March 21st, 1941, had a fairly inconspicuous year in professional wrestling. And then in 1966, he made his... Okay, none of this matters. I'm not about to read this whole damn thing. Anyway, he's going to come in as a heel. He's got a couple characters, but I'm not going to be calling him Blackhand. In fact, he might be our cowboy gimmick. He kind of looks like a cowboy. So we're bringing in Frank Dalton, and there's a reasoning why we're bringing in Frank Dalton. Because we are going to be doing a 16-man tournament here soon. So we've got, now we've got 13 superstars, right? Yeah, we have 13 superstars right now, so we're waiting on these last 3 people, and then I think after the next show, not the one coming, the next show coming up, after that one is when we'll probably officially announce we're going to be doing a 16-man tournament for the first, to determine who is going to be the first ever IWC champion, stuff like that. And, yeah, it's going to be a way to kind of test out all the wrestlers, see who is, in my opinion, the best and the guy who deserves to be champion. And look, he's already got a cowboy gimmick, so it works out perfectly. And, yeah, so we're bringing in Frank Dalton and a couple other people. In fact, make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, OMG, WTF, LOTWBRB, same name as the YouTube channel, because I announce a lot of the stuff going on in the local to global things on Twitter. Like, I'll announce if these guys sign contracts off screen, like if Cousin Slim, Dino Bravo, which I'm sure a lot of you guys may recognize the name Dino Bravo, and Jim Alexi. If all these guys sign a contract off screen, I'd announce it on Twitter that they've signed contracts, or if anything crazy goes on in the world, like we have a lot of things with the the original Sheik happen, you know, in the world that I've shared so far. So make sure you guys are following me on Twitter if you guys want to get it, you know, day-to-days on the IWC, what's happening in the world and all that. But anyway, that's going to be the end. I definitely think that was our best show yet. And if we look at our size right now, we got 9 importance, 11 popularity. We need to have 11 importance in one region of America. So we're close. We're at 9. We're 2 points away from 11. So I'm not sure how long that'll take, but we're close to being a small company. So that's pretty rad. That being said, though, my name's been OMGWTF, LOL TEW BRB. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, comment, like, subscribe if you have not already. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your friends, Facebooks, Twitters, Instagrams. I don't give a dams. Anybody, if you would enjoy my content, make sure to give them a share and help your homeboy get some new subscribers up in this bitch. As always, though, if you would like to play TEW on your own, you can save $5 off by using the code TEWOMG with your purchase. So next time you're looking to buy the game, maybe you have to buy it for a new computer or whatnot, TEWOMG. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mom. TEWOMG. Get $5 off. Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. That's going to be the end of the video, though, guys. I will see you guys for the next episode. Comment down below any of the owner goal ideas that you have in mind, any gimmicks, anything in general. Of course, comment down superstars you'd like to see, and I'll always bring them in the future once we, you know, get a little bit of money behind our back. My name's been OMGWTF, LOLTWBRB, and I'll see you later.